lows, so I cannot take a loss at all.
At all.
Let me put you up on game, it ain't all about the fame at all. They talking down on my name, trying to put me to shame, that's all.
That's all.
Might be in the Hall of Fame, I can be like you lames.
Never will I lose when I'm doing what I choose. Many streams of revenues, instruction for the crews. Motivated by success, no disturbing the peace. Only one eye in chief position held by me. Keeping it player as can be. If you understanding me, grind for the currency.
Yeah, like we always do about this time. My name is Cornbread Capone. This is Unpopular Honesty, the home of brutal honesty and real hip-hop music. And today, we're going to talk about a heavy topic of conversation. For the last, I would say 30 years, I have been seeing rappers get murdered. Every time a rapper gets murdered, I remember the first time it happened. For the first time in my generation that happened, that was Tupac Shakur. I remember how hurtful that was. I remember how hard it was. I remember how the news and the media outlets really did not give him his fair due or his respect when he passed. Because all they mentioned was how many times he was in trouble and what his rap sheet consisted of as far as his criminal record. And then not even 6 months later, it happens to be. And we can count every year since then that there has been a murder of a rapper, whether independent, major label, high profile, low profile, up and coming, really doesn't matter. Within the last 10 years, it has increased and intensified because for the last couple of years in a row, there's been more than 300 rappers that have been murdered per year. A lot of people ask the question, is hip hop to blame for this? The answer for that would be no. We have to have a tough conversation because for every tragedy, there is an artist whose name is not associated with it. Not saying that the tragedy should be excused or overlooked at all. Because hip hop is not about tragedy. Hip hop is not about death. Hip hop is about bringing people together. Hip hop is not about division. Hip hop is not about well, it is based on competition, but the general notion of hip hop is to bring people together, not separate us and divide us, not young versus old, not east and west, north and south, red and blue. No, you know what I'm saying? It's supposed to bring all of that. The culture was created to counteract street violence. For those out there who don't know, hip hop was created as an alternative to street violence. Many people would believe that rap in 2022 is the new Willie Lynch. I have even said that myself because there's a sector, there's a subgenre of hip hop, which is called drill, which is basically the most disrespectful form of rap there is, because all they talk about is murder, death, kill. Nothing else. And then you have a public, an audience, who enjoys that content. Why? Because that's the highest streamed music. So, I've heard people point the finger at the record labels. They are partially responsible for the blame because they are the ones who are in positions of power who agree to push a certain agenda. I say 50% of the blame goes to the record labels because this is what they want to promote. This is what makes them money. And they don't bear no brunt of the blame when things go down. So it's actually safe for them to make the money off of it, push the agenda, promote the agenda, and make the money and go home safely. Because that's what they do. But nah, the other 50% of the blame is the consumer base, the audience, the people who hit the like, the people who shared, the people who requested, the people who stream it, who download it, view it, however they consume it. Because when things go bad and tragedies happen, people say, well, people want to listen to this type of music all day. But you put some conscious music in front of them and they call that boring. Well, you got to make up your mind. Do you want to hear murder, death, kill all day until somebody really gets murdered? And then, oh, where the positive rap at? Positive rap been around the whole time. You just got to go look for it. People forget that how we used to consume music is not the way we consume music today. You have a choice in what you listen to all the way around the board, because no matter what platform you go to, there's a search engine in it. And you can type in whatever it is you want to hear. The problem is, you know that there's positive music out there, but you don't want to hear that because you and your peer group think that that's boring. So you keep listening to murder, death, kill until somebody really get killed. And now you want to switch up the story. Now you want to say rap is the most dangerous profession. Not saying that it isn't, because it is. But now we have to take a closer look at that and examine it. Rap is a dangerous profession if you put yourself in dangerous circumstances. Most people's problem is they can't leave the streets out of the industry. And example after example after example has happened that has shown you cannot bring the streets into the industry. Those are two separate things, two separate worlds. They don't go together. They don't mix. It is always going to end bad when you got somebody who feel like they can bring the streets into the music industry. It will always fail. That's a big problem. A lot of people bring street issues, conversations, etc. into music as if there's no hip-hop police listening to your records. Let's be very clear. If you are a black man in America, regardless of your occupation, you have a target on your back. If you decide to enter the entertainment arena and be a rapper, you now have another target on your back. It's no secret the government does not like rap or rappers. The police profile us, follow us. It's no secret. It's no secret. If all this is a known fact, then why do these idiots move like they don't have enemies? Why do they move as if they can't be caught? Why do they say things that incriminate themselves, and then when they get caught, they say, free me? Just doesn't make sense to me. But a part of this, people are talking about what they do or what they have done in the streets. And this has cost people their freedom. It's cost people their careers. It's cost people money. And that's really when your bottom line get affected, that's when a lot of people start feeling it. Because then they feel that. You know, the career thing, depending on who you are and how much you've saved up. You know what I'm saying? But we have to be real about this, man. We have to be real about what it is that's going on. You can't sit up here and listen to murder, death, kill all day, and then when somebody get killed, you're emotional and you're crying. I need you to keep the same energy you kept when you was jamming murder, death, kill. If that's what you're doing. For those who want an alternative, there is better music out there. Go find it. It's out there. It's on YouTube, has everybody's music. From the people who are not signed to the people who are. It's a choice. If you're choosing to listen to murder, death, kill, then you can't get mad at the outcomes that happen. I've heard a lot of talk within the last week about we have to be honest about what's going on. People are saying that they feel like this is a sacrifice because it happens too much. They feel like there's a plan in play where the government is involved to eliminate rappers. There is just a negative stigmatism attached to rap as of right now. I didn't realize how serious it was until I spoke to a friend and he told me that there are people who are choosing not to make music now because of situations like this. They are choosing not to sing. They are choosing not to rap because they feel like it's too dangerous. That's one end of the spectrum. On the other end of the spectrum, I see artists, not to say that this doesn't bother them because it does, but they don't have to deal with these incidents and stigmatisms. And it's because that their music doesn't promote negativity, death, ignorance, debauchery, coonery, buffoonery that these other records do. So it's a difference. And I'm sitting back and I'm watching them both. I'm watching everybody and as far as their commentary and what they're saying, and I'm watching the people that's not saying nothing. I'm just paying attention all around the board. I also do see the fakeness that's associated with it as well. I mean, anytime when an artist pass away, you're gonna get a group of people who are bandwagoners. They didn't know nothing about the person the day before that person passed, but after that person passed, now they the biggest fan. They jamming their music. They sharing their music on social media when yesterday you was not listening to it. And that's fake to me. You know what I'm saying? But it's a level of fakeness that's associated when anybody dies in entertainment or outside of it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why that's associated with death. I hate that it is. I just wish that people would be honest. You know what I'm saying? Be honest with, if you didn't jam it, you didn't jam it. If you wasn't a fan of it, you wasn't a fan of it. It's nothing wrong with that. But see, it's something wrong when people get up and fake the front be phony, lie, pretend, and act as if they were fans of these individuals prior to them passing. No, you're just a bandwagon rider who got on the bandwagon after this person passed away. We have to be honest about that, man, because there's too much fakeness associated with it, and I see it every day. So we just got to be honest, man. We got to, and if we trying to clean it up, if we trying to provide balance, which is what a lot of people who like rap but probably not into today's rap, they would like to see a balance, because right now what we're seeing is too much of the same thing. Too many people that look alike, sound alike, dress alike, act alike in rap. Not enough individuals. Content-wise, we're not getting any social commentary from the mainstream rappers who are out front, in front of you. You know what I'm saying? We're only getting it from a few people. And we need it for more, you know what I'm saying, to provide balance. That's why I love talking about the 90s, because the 90s had balance. Yes, we had gangster rap groups, but we also had political rap groups, socially conscious rap groups. You had lyrical heads. You had, you know what I'm saying, your dudes who just made your hits. You know what I'm saying? Then you had the dudes who made something for the people to sit down and really listen to. It was diverse. All the girls didn't sound the same or look the same. All the dudes didn't sound the same or look the same either. You know what I'm saying? So if it's balance that we want, that lies within the consumer base and those who stream music today. If you want better, it's going to have to start with what you put in your ears. What's weird is a tragic incident will happen within the same week that a show that Hip Hop Homicides premieres on television. Not sure if many people are aware, but 50 Cent is executive producing a show about hip hop homicides. And I thought to myself, like, this show could possibly be on for the next decade, because you have so many homicides that occurred within hip hop that either were not solved, or, you know, they were news headlines when it first happened, but then nobody else heard nothing about it after that. Nobody knows the aftermath. Nobody knows the lead up to what happened to the incident. This show could be around for a long time, but like I say again, hip hop is not about killing people. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people say they don't know where the breakdown happened or what happened, as far as when did rap turn the corner from being peaceful and cool to being violent. I say you have to go back to my era when they had that meeting. And at that meeting, it was decided that political rap, socially conscious rap, uplifting rap, we're not promoting that. We're only going to promote the gangster rap because it adds to the prison population. And since then, the uplifting rap, socially conscious rap, political rap has decreased tremendously. However, the gangster rap has increased way more, way more. That was 1991 when that was decided. Then you have the period between 2007 to 2010 when the sound of music changed. The sound changed. along with the sound, the rules changed. Whereas you couldn't bite no one before, now you can. You know, if you tell a story about the streets, in the past, it was telling a story about the streets, usually a cautionary tale with the ending that probably wouldn't be so nice, but it has the ring of truth around it. Today's street stories are all one-sided. They don't tell you nothing about the bad parts. They don't tell you nothing about the bumps in the road that you may face on the street life. They just tell you all the good stuff, all the stuff that'll lure you into it. And I believe that's wrong too. Because if you're gonna be fair, let's be fair. Don't promote the streets as if it's ice cream with a sugar-coated topping on top of it, because we know that it's not. Tell the truth. If you choose a life of crime, you're gonna end up in one or two places. It ain't glamorous. It ain't cool. A lot of people who have chosen a life of crime had no choice. They had no other option. A lot of people today have options and still choose to do the fucked up shit. They were raised right with both parents. Some come from money and just want to be so cool and accepted by their peer group that they'll go out and do some dumb shit that'll land their ass in prison for 20 years. Nah, part of that has a part to play with the hip hop, part of that doesn't. I say half of it does with music. The other half is the common sense, man. Because I still say ain't no music entice nobody to do nothing. If you wanted to do something, that means you had that on your mind to do. A rap record didn't encourage you to do it. You did it on your own. I can't blame a record on somebody being murdered. Still to this day, no matter what Google tells you when you pull up East Coast versus West Coast, I don't believe nobody died behind no records. Nobody. And that's just the honest truth. So we have to put it in its proper way of context. If there's violent people around, then you have to ask yourself, why are these people violent? You have to look into their background. You have to look into how they were raised. And I can't sit up here and tell you the mind of somebody who is violent or why they are the way they are. All I know is that these type of people exist in the world. And they do fucked up shit every day. The music plays a big role. Because music taps into the psyche, into the mind. Those frequencies, those sound waves. They get people used to hearing it. Have you ever been around somebody that listens to like modern day music? Watch them for a day. Just watch them. Don't say nothing, just watch them. Watch what they listen to all day. They're programmed to listen to it. Their peers listen to it. Their friends listen to it. This is what they hear. They comprehend this all day long because they don't listen to nothing else. They don't break the monotony by playing another genre of music. They listen to their music all day long, all day long. That's programming. Now, if the content of the music that they are listening to is all murder, death, kill, I'm going to shoot my op, I'm going to kill a person that look just like me, what are you programming them for? You're preparing them for a grave or a prison cell. That's what you're doing. Because I have yet to see somebody who is educated, who comes home from a long day of studying in college courses and says, well, let me put on this the regular radio station and listen to what they're listening to. Not saying that it doesn't exist. I'm just saying that I have yet to see any. The people that I see listening to this music, strangely, are living according to the music that they are listening to. In whatever form you want to put it in. In my day, we listened to music. That's just what we were listening to. It didn't dictate who we were as people. It didn't reflect who we were as people. We were our own person, our own individual. We didn't want to dress like our favorite rapper. I love Tupac, but I never had a bald head. I never had tattooed words across my abdomen. I never wore bandanas on top of my head. You see what I'm saying? But you can look out today in a crowd of black people and you can see that a lot of them look alike. If you look at the dress code, if you look at the way a lot of them wear their hair, if you look at their mannerisms and the way they talk. My generation just didn't believe in biting. We didn't believe in following. We didn't believe off looking like the next man. We didn't believe in acting or conducting ourselves like somebody else. We believed in being ourselves. Which is why that era in time is still being talked about today. It's still being respected today. This new generation is sampling 90s music. And it's a reason why. Because it was and still is the best era in hip hop. One of the reasons is because we had balance. You had a Lauryn Hill out at the same time a Lil Kim was out. Those are two female MCs, but two different extremes. Lauryn was more conscious. Kim was raunchy, hardcore. But they both existed in hip hop in the 90s. They both were successful in hip hop in the 90s. We got to get back to the balance. We got to eliminate this killer nigga spirit that exists in hip hop. People got to stop listening to bullshit if you want bullshit to stop happening in real life. It starts with what people listen to, what you choose to listen to, what your children listen to, what their friends listen to. It got to start somewhere. Somebody got to be the one to say it. That bullshit need to get cut out quick. Meaning, if you're at a party for some youngsters and they partying to some music that say it's okay to kill somebody that look just like them, you are obligated to go to the DJ and pull the motherfucking plug if you want to. Straight up. People in there dancing, when that record come on, you need to walk outside. Stand against it. Because as long as you going along with it, as long as you say, oh, it's just music, bullshit will continue to happen. And the next time it might be your favorite rapper. Then how you gonna feel? Know what I mean? Before we get up out of here though, I just want to say rest in peace to all the rappers and hip hop artists who have passed away due to senseless violence. Like I said before, I'll say it again. If you want better, we have to do better. It starts with cutting off music that we shouldn't be listening to. Making sure that the younger generation understands that, okay, you can't perpetuate this stuff and act like you're immune to it because it don't work like that. We have to be honest and we have to be real. You cannot put bullshit in your circumference and expect greatness to happen. You cannot put bullshit in your ear and expect a positive outcome. It doesn't work like that. What you listen to is very important because it's not far from who you are and what you believe. All I'm saying is we have to unlearn this bullshit and we have to get to what's real. On behalf of the good people at One Man Records, I am Cornbread Capone. This is Unpopular Honesty, the home of brutal honesty and real hip-hop music. Until next time, everybody, peace and love. Because that's what the world needs in a real way today. Peace and love.